CAAP Board of Directors. First is Attorney Arthur P. Tugade. Signation Secretary, Department of Transportation Chairperson, CAAP Board. His age is 73 years old. Educational attainments: elementary to law school cum laude and magna cum laude in liberal arts in San Beda College. His work experience are: he founded Paris Group of Companies, a corporation that is into trucking, logistics, shipping, fuel distribution, travel, and fashion. Executive Assistant of Delgado's Family's Transnational Diversified Group Incorporation in 1973, and climbed up the ladder to become the President and Chief Operating Officer. Tugade was appointed President and Chief Executive Officer of the Clark Development Corporation. He is the 18th Secretary of the Department of Transportation. Next is Captain Manuel Antonio Lara Tamayo. Signation Undersecretary for Aviation and Airports, Department of Transportation, alternate Chairperson, CAAP Board. She is 68 years old. Educational attainments are: Bachelor of Science in the University of the East, Master of Business Administration in De La Salle University, 1978 to 1981. Pilot training, Philippine Air Force Flying School, 1974 to 1975. Medicine in Far Eastern University, 1972. Work experience: Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, CAAP, July 10, 2016 to May 9, 2017. Under this is Deputy Director General, Chairperson Bids and Awards, Chairman Pre-Selection Board, and more. So, Philippine Airlines, PAL, he is the Vice President, Flight Operations Department, Assistant Vice President Flight, and so on. Captain Jim C. Saidonco. Designation: Director General, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Vice Chairperson, CAAP Board. Age: 68 years old. Educational attainments are: Philippine Airlines Aviation School Airline Captain with the International Operations experience flying wide-body aircraft. Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy at the University of Santo Tomas Central Seminary. His work experience are: 20 years with the Philippine Airlines, 15 years with the EVA Airways Corporation, 5 years with Cebu Pacific Air as part of its senior management. Next is Carlos G. Dominguez III. Designation: Secretary, Department of Finance, Board Member, CAAP Board. His age is 73 years old. Master's degree in Business Administration from Ateneo de Manila University. Executive Management Program at the Stanford University. I will only give some of his work experience. These are: Secretary of the Departments of Natural Resources and of Agriculture during the presidency of Corazon Aquino. President of leading Philippine corporations such as Philippine Airlines, PAL, the Philippine Associated Smelting and Refining Corporation, and former Bank of the Philippines Island Agricultural Development Bank. Chairman of the Board of Republic Planters Bank and RCBC Capital Corporation. Next is Mark Venice E. C. Joven. Designation Undersecretary for the International Finance Group of the Philippines, Department of Finance, and alternate member, CAAP Board. His age is 41 years old. He is a Master of Laws degree from Harvard Law School, tax concentration. He is a Bachelor of Laws cum laude from the UP College of Law. Bachelor of Business Administration and Accountancy degree cum laude from the UP College of Business Administration. Placed first in the 2001 CPA Board exams. His work experience are Assistant Secretary of the Revenue Operations Group, ROG, of the same department. The office exercising general supervision over internal revenue and customs operation. Faculty member of the UP College of Law and UP College of Business Administration. Bernadette Romulo Puyat, Designation Secretary, Department of Tourism, Board Member, CAAP Board. She is 48 years old. Educational attainments are Masteral of Arts in Economics, University of the Philippines, 1993 to 1994. Bachelor of Science in Economics in the University of the Philippines, 1986 to 1990, cum laude. Affiliations: Phi Gamma Mu Honor Society, Phi Kappa Phi Honor Society. Work experience: Secretary, Department of Tourism, May 2018 to the present. Undersecretary, Department of Agriculture, Deputy Cabinet Secretary, Economic Consultant, Presidential Management Staff, April 2005 to May 2016. Lecturer, University of the Philippines, School of Economics, 1994 to 2006. Economic Consultant, Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, 2001 to 2002. Next is Arturo P. Boncato Jr., Designation Undersecretary of Department of Tourism, alternate member, CAAP Board. Age 65 years old. Work experience are DOT's Convergence Champion of Tourism Road Infrastructure Program with the DPWH and DOTR Convergence Program on Airport Development. DOT's Alternative Representative of the Boracay Interagency Task Force, Manila Bay Rehabilitation and other rehabilitation projects relative to environmental sustainability. Alternate Chairperson for Duty Free Philippines Corporation. Alternate Vice Chairperson for the Clark International Air Corporation and Mactan Cebu International Airport Authority. Experience: publisher, editorial writer, and co-anchor and host of number of national broadsheets and radio and TV news shows. And lots of more. Another one is that brief stint in the Academy of Lecturer at the U.S. National Defense College. Next one is Attorney Brigido Dulay. Designation: Undersecretary, Department of Foreign Affairs, alternate member, CAAP Board. Educational attainments: Ateneo de Manila University School of Law in 1889, Philippine Bar in 1990 after taking 21st place. Work experience: regular columnist of the National Broadsheet Manila Times, host co-anchor of executive session, Nizzy RH666AM and formerly Karambola sa DWIZ. Also, alternate representative of the Secretary of Foreign Affairs to the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, and there's more. Next is Attorney Silvestre Bello III, Designation Secretary, Department of Labor and Employment Board Member, CAAP Board. He is 75 years old. His educational attainments are Arts and Political Science from Manuel L. Quezon University in Quiapo, Manila in 1966. Bachelor of Laws from Ateneo de Manila University Law School in 1970. His work experience are Justice Secretary from July 1990 to February 1992. Solicitor General from September 23, 1996 until February 3, 1998. Chairman of the Government Negotiating Panel for talks with the CPP, NPA, NBF from January 2001 to August 2004. President and CEO of PNOC Development and Management Corporation from November 2004 to November 2005. January 2006 to December 2006, he was the General Manager and CEO of PRA. Presidential Advisor for New Government Centers from July 2007 to July 2008. He is a Cabinet Secretary during the presidency of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Next is Attorney Jacinto V. Paras, Designation Undersecretary, Department of Labor and Employment, alternate member of CAAP Board, age 65 years old, educational attainments, elementary and high school, Francis College, Negros Oriental, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, University of the Philippines, Diliman, Bachelor of Laws, University of the Philippines, Diliman, Masters in Business Administration, De La Salle University, Taft Avenue, Manila. Work experience, Mayor, City of Gihulnan, 1986 to 1988. Assistant Secretary, Department of Agrarian, 1988 to 1989. These are more of his work experience. Next is Attorney Federico V. Abuan Jr. Designation, Assistant Secretary, Department of Labor and Employment, alternate member, CAAP Board. Age is 66 years old, educational attainments, graduate at San Beda College of Law, Manila, 1973 to 1977. Bar passer at 1977. Bachelor of Science in Criminology, Philippine College of Criminology, Manila, 1969 to 1973. His work experience are former municipal administrator, 2002 to 2009, local government unit, Alicia Isabela, professor, Northeastern College and Isabela State University, and in Law Department, 1990 to 1994. These are some of his work experience also. Next is Attorney Menardo I. Guevara. Designation Secretary, Department of Justice, Board Member, CAAP Board, age 64 64 years old. Educational attainments are magna cum laude from the Ateneo de Manila University with a Bachelor of Arts degree, major in political science. Even University of the Philippines for graduate studies in economics. Second honors in 1985, law at the Ateneo School of Law in Makati. Work experience as staff economist at NEDA until 1983. Central Bank's Department of Economic Research to work as bank economist. These are also some of his work experience. There's a lot of them, so I will give only a few one. Next is Attorney George O. Ortha II, Designation Assistant Secretary, Department of Justice, alternate member, CAAP Board. Age 43 years old. Educational attainments, licensure examination administered by the Professional Regulations Commission, namely Real Estate Appraiser, 2015, Real Estate Broker, 2012, and Certified Public Accountant, 1996. Some of his work experience are partner at Ferra Tantoco Daos, a law firm founded in 1924. Pre-bar lecturer, law professor. Next is General Eduardo Manahan Anyo. Designation Secretary, Department of Interior and Local Government, Board Member, CAAP Board. Age 57 years old. Educational attainments, cum laude, Philippine Military Academy, and become a member of PMA Matikas Class of 1983. International Officer, Intelligence Course at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, USA. Some of his work experience are Commander of the Intelligence and Security Group of the Philippine Army, Commander of the 10th Infantry, Aguila Division, 57th Commanding General of the Philippine Army, and 48th Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Next is Bernardo Capil Flores Jr. Designation Undersecretary for Peace and Order, Department of Interior and Local Government, alternate member, CAAP Board. He is 62 years old. Educational attainments are Bachelor of Science, Philippine Military Academy, 1983. Certificate in Business Economics, University of Asia and Pacific. Masters in Business Administration, International Academy of Management and Economics, 2002. Some of his work experience are April 2018 to present, Undersecretary for Peace and Order, Department of Interior and Local Government. 2012 to 2013 Director, Police Community Relations Group. 2011 to 2012 Secretary to the Directorial Staff, Office of the Chief Directorial Staff. These are more of his work experience. It provides services on maintenance of CAAP buildings and grounds, Rotary Central Records Archives Divisions. It handles the compilation and safekeeping of all records and documents. C. Supply Division. It is responsible for the storage, control and distribution of supplies, materials, and office equipments. D. Procurement Division coordinates and monitors all procurement activities of CAAP. Human Resource Management Division provides services relating to personnel policy and administration, development of personnel program which shall include selection and placement, training, promotion, transfer, and other personnel transaction of CAAP. Next one is Finance Department. Finance Department manage the financial activities in support of CAAP operations. Provide the management in the CAAP Board of Financial Reports and updates for decision making. Under finance departments are a budget division. For budget division, prepare, review, consolidate, and submit budget estimates and budget justification of the authority. B. Accounting division, record and maintain books of accounts, general ledgers, and subsidiary ledgers. C. Treasury division, it generates a cash forecast to determine the cash requirement and investment capability of the authority. Next one is Flight Standard Inspectorate Services, FSIS. So this one is manages all the activities and personnel of FSIS, promotes civil aviation safely through proper implementation of regulations and conducts of prompt, sustained, and consistent surveillance in accordance with the ICAO standards and recommended practices. Performs other functions that higher authorities may direct. So under Flight Standard Inspectorate Services are Regulatory Standard Department, maintains operating regulations, implementing standards and guidance material. B. Licensing and Certification Department. C. Airworthiness Department. D. Flight Operations Department. E. Office of the Flight Surgeon of some. F. Airman Examination Board. The next one is Air Traffic Service, ATS. Air Traffic Service provides and manages air traffic services in accordance with established national and ICAO standards and recommended practices. Administers and implements operational plans, projects, and programs. Under ATS is that first Air Traffic Planning and Progression Department. It formulates medium and long-term plan relative to the next generation system in coordination with stakeholders. B. Aeronautical Information and Communication Department ensures the continuous flow and aeronautical information necessary for the safety, regulatory, and efficiency of air navigation. Last one, C, is Air Traffic Control and Airspace Management Department. It supervises and manages air traffic control services provided within the Philippine airspace and all controlled airports to ensure safe, orderly, and expeditious conduct of air traffic. Next one is Air Navigation Service, ANS. Air Navigation Service administers and implements operational plans, programs in conformance with ICAO annexes and SARPs. It formulates safely management systems, policies, and procedures in conformance with ICAO and annexes and SARPs. Under this one is Air Navigation Project Planning and Design Department, B. Air Navigation Project Implementation Department, C. Air Navigation Quality Management Department, D. Air Navigation Operations Department. Next one is CAAP Security Intelligence Services, CSIS. Under this one is Intelligence Division. It monitors, collects, and evaluates and reports all CAAP personnel violating and implementing rules and regulations, official directive, and memorandum to all its offices, structures, and facilities nationwide. B is Civil Security Division. It formulates policies and procedures concerning security and personnel, passengers, cargoes, aircraft, airport, equipment structure, facilities, funds, and classified documents of the CAAP. Next one is Aerodrome Development Management Service, ADMS. Under this one is Aerodrome Engineering Department. Identifies the current and future requirements of each airport in the national airport system and prepares corresponding budgetary costing for airport maintenance. The second one is Aerodrome Operations Department. It conducts aeronautical evaluation for height limitation of all existing and proposed structures in coordination with other concerned CAAP services. Next is Enforcement and Legal Services, ELSE. It provides adequate legal assistance and support to the Director General and to the authority as a whole in the exercise of quasi-legislative and quasi-judicial powers as provided in RA 9497. It performs such other functions as may be required by the management. The last one is Office of the Director General, ODG. Excuse me. Office of the Director General, ODG, enforces provision of the rules and regulations implementing RA 9497, exercise general supervision over the administrative, technical, and operational function of the various civil aviation offices, perform such other related functions as may be required by the board. So we will go now to CAAP area centers, airports, and facilities. Mandate to set comprehensive, clear, and impartial rules and regulations in adherence to RA 9497. Chapter 3 RA 9497 General Policies. Section 21 Policies. In the exercise and performance of its powers and duties under this Act, the authority shall consider the following, among other things, as being in the public interest and in accordance with the public convenience and necessity. Number 1 is the development and utilization of the air potential of the Philippines. Number 2, the encouragement and development of an air transportation system properly adapted to the present and future of foreign and domestic commerce of the Philippines. Number 3, the regulation of air transportation in such manner as to support sound economic conditions in such transportation, and to improve the relations between air carriers, and lastly, encouragement and development of viable, globally competitive Philippines aviation industry. Functions. Number one, management of airports in accordance with established national and ICAO standards and recommended practices. Administration and implementation of operational plans and programs. Number three, administration and maintenance of airport facility and equipment. Number four, provision of training of career development of area center personnel. Five, development and implementation of airport rules, regulations, procedures, and standards. Number six, development and utilization of airport assets, real property, concessions, and other viable co-op-owned property. Perform such other function as may be directed by the co-op Director General. So this last slide is these are the area centers. Actually, there are 12 area centers, but I only put 2 area center. So for the first area center, these are the Lawag International Airport. Number 2 ay second Vigan Airport, 3 Baguio Airport, Lingayen Airport, San Fernando Tower Facility. And for the area center, number 2 are Tuguegarao Airport, Basco Airport, Cauayan Airport, Bagabag Airport, Itbayat Airport, and Palanan Airport. So that's all. Thank you.